these prophecies with regards to the coming pandemic, Prophet Uebert Angel is very certain on them. And you see, Prophet Uebert Angel is one prophet, who just after the COVID-19, he was like, it's gonna happen again, it's gonna happen again, it's gonna happen again, it's gonna happen again till now. And he's not even stopped saying it because of what he's seen in the realms that maybe we don't see, right? Some people don't see, most people don't see, right? So it's a matter of awareness, in my opinion. It's just about that for me because it's an information. You understand me? Something that is going to happen before time, and giving us the gist information, so you want to be on your feet and do the right things. You get what I mean? So just take it that way, information that is giving you. And this time around, it's a longer video of things, you understand me, that we must be aware of. Let's go. I'll leave this video for you to watch. Let's go get it.
So the book of Exodus, they are being delivered from the hand of Pharaoh. The rapture, we are being rescued from the clutch of sin. So everything is a rescue, and there are diseases in the book of Exodus. And there are also diseases before we leave. I don't know if you're getting this. I can keep on going for days, giving you the similarities, so you understand. Are you flowing with me? Are you flowing? Exactly. So understand this, that there are also going to be diseases. Pestilences, parasites, as a sign of the end times. Luke 21:11 for those who are just joining. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. We agree. Every preacher says it. Famines. Oh, there's drought everywhere. It's a sign of the end time because it's now too much. And pestilences. My God. We skip that because we just say diseases and we leave. Now they can actually calculate when the next pandemic is coming. And it's coming. I remember talking to my pastors, and they said, no, the prophet said they have not seen collide planes. Planes will just fall from the sky. It will increase. And I know what I'm talking about because I saw it. But another day I'll find time and explain the cause of it. Are you hearing me? And the Bible says, I'll show them great signs in the heaven, that if possible, they'll believe in a lie. That means when it so happens, you even calculate that, oh, it is because of this, it is because of that, it is because of this, because you are believing a lie. Are you hearing this? Yes, are you hearing this? Yes, praise the Lord. So now watch this. So what it could be is a very simple issue of looking at the scriptures and the end of times, and then looking at things. Do you know? Let me show you something. In fact, show the first sign, the first one.
I was really shocked when I found out that this is something that affects every single living human. In fact, every single living organism on the face of the earth. You could be leading a healthy lifestyle. You could be jogging, eating raw food, taking vitamins, and all those kind of things. But these guys don't care. These guys are persistent. They're dangerous. They're deadly. They've been around for millions of years. They know what they're doing. And they're inside of all of us. And we're constantly being exposed to this going on. And it's going on inside every one of us. And this is something that we all need to take very seriously. This is not science fiction. This is scary, it's real, and it's serious. Monsters living inside us, they eat our bodies and control our emotions, urges, and thoughts.
As a colon hydrotherapist for approximately 21 years now, you wouldn't believe what I see coming out of people's bodies.
This is not just a third world country thing. Everybody has them. Even normal people with lots of money living
in suburbia who take showers 3 times a day. If you eat sushi, you have parasites. 1 square inch of raw sushi meat can contain 10,000 parasite larvae and eggs that begin hatching inside you the minute you eat it. The most common kind is tapeworms, which can grow to 60 feet long and live in your intestines for decades. If you have pets, you are guaranteed to have parasites. It doesn't matter if you're vegetarian, raw foodist, vegan, or macrobiotic. Even the healthiest and richest people on earth have parasites. You can't kill them all, only control them, because our bodies have trillions of cells which rely on helpful bacteria like probiotics to work right. If we kill all the organisms in our body, we kill ourselves. The secret is to keep the bad guys to a minimum. Make our bodies so healthy and clean, the undesirable guests won't want to stick around. Parasites are living alien creatures who live off of others. They eat your food, they poop their waste inside you, making your blood, lymph, and tissues toxic. Common signs of parasites are you're tired a lot, sleeping problems, constant itching, weakness, headaches, lack of appetite, or hungry all the time, especially for sweet foods and carbs. Flu-like symptoms, depression, skin problems, acne, arthritis, joint pains, eczema, dermatitis, sinus problems, breathing and lung problems like pneumonia, then uncontrollable coughing, lumps under the skin, cysts, diarrhea and constipation, sometimes alternating back and forth, mucus in your stool, irritable bowel syndrome, stomach aches, cramps, digestion problems, nausea, overly dry lips, vision and eye problems, gas, bloating. Parasites can burrow into your brain and cause nerve damage and eye problems. They can multiply so much in your gut what you think is fat may in fact be entire nests of parasites. Parasites can even contribute to infertility and childbirth difficulties.
Subject to this, like it or
Are you
not,
getting
it's a
this?
fact.
Tests done at few
Notice, they can even cause mood swings. So imagine you're working with somebody who is prayerful, but if they have a parasite, they can actually be moody. So sometimes we keep delivering people who got parasites. I know they're not getting what I'm trying to say. Are you getting this? You can call your child lazy, parasites. And they can't help it because the food you give them, they are eating together. Because these are alien, did you notice? They are alien objects, or rather animals or creatures that are staying in your body. And Jesus said they will be there at the end of the age. So I can see you moody and say the devil. I can be right that there is a devil, but the devil is in the form of a parasite. I wish I could talk to somebody. Maybe they're missing this. I can tell when somebody's missing it, because right now, as I say it, it becomes like a small thing. It's nothing. Even in birth, affecting women in birth. I get it. The Bible tells us that God shall deliver us even in childbearing. That's all right. The Bible also says, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health. And most Christians are not in health, and definitely most Christians are not rich. So the wish of God and the want of God might not happen. So he elects people that don't have that thing. I don't know if you're getting it. 3 John 1:2 says, Beloved, I wish above all things. That's the Spirit talking under the unction of the Spirit. So it is the Holy Ghost speaking. I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health. But are all Christians in health? We wouldn't be having Healing Institute. So what God wants doesn't mean say it will happen. What he wants, as in what he lacks, is the people that are not broke. I wish above all things that you prosper, but many Christians are not prosperous. What if everything you see around your family, what if your wife, your husband has this one thing that is in that person that they are understanding? They pray with you, they love you. But once in a while, there's some kind of upheaval that happens in the relationship, and friction happens, and it's just a twinkling of an eye, so to speak, and somebody becomes moody. Why are you like this? Why can't you just smile? Parasite. And I get it, your wife might be the parasite yourself, but what I'm trying to say is, what? Your husband might be the parasite, but what if the parasites now are helping the parasite? Inside parasite, getting a parasite. I don't know if you're getting this. You might be missing what I'm trying to say. Are you getting this? I'm seeing something. Ah, no zemenes kubai kunama. Mando sevelu sheva. Efredezizo zebelo. Mendezu zezumaleno gretaba. Increscio teme. Mando zeblero canuskede. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you something very, 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 very enlightening. Let's go to the second one.
We have found the mechanism by which a really common human parasite hijacks the host cell for its own benefit, potentially changes the behaviour of the host human that's living within. This parasite lays dormant in 30 to 80% of people, and one of the critical factors for this is their ability to store energy as starch. We've found the molecular mechanism by which they do so in order to establish this infection. Toxoplasma gondii is an extremely common pathogen. In fact, it infects 30 to 80% of people. And we pick it up either when we eat undercooked meat that harbours this pathogen, such as in lamb or beef, or we catch it from being exposed to cat poo, which harbours cyst forms of this parasite. Most people, it's not a problem. In fact, it will only present as mild flu-like symptoms. But it is a problem when you have a dampened immune system or when you're pregnant. There's been a really interesting link recently showing that people that have mental illness, specifically schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, have a greater likelihood to be infected by this parasite. And that is very interesting because the chronic form of this parasite lives within the brain. We've found the mechanism by which it exports its own proteins into the host cell that it's living within. And that is particularly exciting because it infects brain cells, and it may change the behaviour of those brain cells for its own purpose. Now that we know the molecular mechanism by which this parasite uses to export proteins into the host cell for its own benefit, and also how it regulates energy storage, we now have the ability to design new therapeutics or a vaccine that could be used for pregnant women.
Now, I'm not for the vaccine for pregnant women. I'm just giving you what you need to hear. Imagine that it stores its own energy from your energy. And Jesus said they will increase in the end time. And yet nobody's preaching about parasites. Nobody's preaching about pestilences, all types of them. It's only what we are hearing from the mainstream media. And definitely I told you, if you watch the mainstream news, if you don't watch, you're uninformed. If you watch, you're misinformed. Now imagine that the Bible is literally telling us that there is a way a great earthquake shall be in the land. Bingo, we are okay. Famines everywhere. Pestilences, viruses, and bacteria, and you don't think about it. Nothing. When you hear there is COVID, you don't think. He mentioned it. He didn't say, though, where it's coming from. He told us it'll be in the air. The little monsters in the air. But he didn't tell us where it's coming from. For all you know, it comes from Wuhan. And they are so wise that the Spanish flu is still called the Spanish flu. The African strain of COVID is still called the African strain. Yet Trump is told, don't say COVID from China. Do you see the idea? The idea is for deception. And notice what the Bible says. Pestilences will come. Yet no preacher is touching it. Right? When I say no preacher, I don't mean there is basically no preacher. Many preachers are not touching it. That's what I'm talking about. But then he says in the book of Revelation, by their sorcery, they shall deceive nations. By their pharmakia. Revelation 18. By their pharmakia, 23. Revelation 18, verse number 23. By their pharmakia, meaning to say, by their pharmacies that treat the what? The pestilences in the end of the day. They are deceiving. So now, pestilences are coming. But guess what? There is an industry of pharmacies that will lie to you about the parasites. Wow. Okay, you're touching this now. You're getting this now. You're catching this now. So we have one lying, one producing it. I don't know if you are getting this. Let me show you something. Maybe you understand. Lilo sheko na male kruske de meguske benano. Efando leguna bender kuske na vaitus. Hi. Now, I want to show you something. Oh, my lega no say 7 is gone. I want to show you something. Show you something. Peluna noske. Are you flowing? Yes, sir. I hope you're flowing. Hope you are flowing. I want to show you something so that you understand it. Just put it up there. I want to show you. It's amazing. If you're in Africa, you're well aware of what is called the Ebola virus. Mandilushkena. Notice that. That is the human Ebola virus species and composition and methods thereof. I want you to go to the right side of it. It is publication number. It is publication type, application number. Then it has got patent number. Why would you need a patent number for a virus? All right, that's okay. I understand many fundis and learned guys who come in and say, yeah, we understand why, because you studied this, and then there is a strain you develop for you to be able to develop the medication. My God, how can you be that evil that you own a patent for a disease? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to control? Are we here in Africa and Asia so stupid? Some parts of Asia so stupid that we can't develop these cures on our own. Somebody will sue you. You've copied their method. I like what Donald Trump said today, that if the World Health Organization wants me to come back, it is to be led by an American that I choose. I understand these things, because he understands. Anything can just come up with these guys. They just wake up with something else and bring you something you can't handle. Recently, he said, I've got a solution for Gaza. Everyone move out of Gaza, and Gaza is now owned by America. Hi. That's another story for another day. The Bible has everything, including the Brexit for those in Britain. It is written in the Bible. Little puzzles. Are you here? Are you here? I want you to understand. I'm not trying, this is not something that is life-threatening or anything, life-threatening or anything. No, it's not. But I want you to understand, did you know, all right? Just touch your face like this. Just touch your face like this, right? Do you know on your face, there are thousands, if not trillions and millions of parasites that live there? Yes. They even procreate on your face. Yeah. Every one of you. So don't say it's for me, I bath nicely. Huh? Yes, put it up there.
Hello, this is my face, which I'm used to by now. It measures exactly 26 centimeters, around the size of a very small chihuahua. But there are other animals that fit here too, and not just on mine, on all faces. We could fit the smallest monkey, the pygmy marmoset, on here. An Etruscan shrew, the lightest mammal, here. Maybe even a couple of bumblebee bats, and a bee hummingbird. Mammals and birds don't get any smaller, as they're warm-blooded animals, and heat loss becomes a real problem when you're this small. But cold-blooded animals can get even tinier. For instance, here's the smallest reptile, the nanochameleon, the smallest fish, the stout infant fish, and the smallest recorded vertebrate, this tiny little frog. At this size, all of these miniature animals have highly simplified bodies. This frog has kissed goodbye to some bones. But in other miniature animals, muscles, teeth, and sometimes even entire organ systems are lost, all to embrace living a simpler life. Then there's the invertebrates that can get even smaller. The smallest known spider and the smallest known insect are barely visible to the human eye. Though there are many different evolutionary forces driving animals to smaller sizes. One of the drivers is certainly that the smaller you are, the more likely you'll be able to find enough resources to sustain yourself. And some of these resources are right under our noses. Oh, hello. Meet Demodex, the face mite, a microscopic arachnid that exclusively lives on human skin. The pore is its humble abode, and the waxy sebum we secrete its meal of choice. And it's estimated that between 1.5 and 2.5 million of them live on our bodies at any one time. Now, this news could make you recoil in horror, but thankfully they are a commensal species, which means that whilst they benefit from us, they are completely harmless. These mites are adapted to live only on human skin, so we likely pick them up from our parents and from other close, intimate partners. In fact, face mites are so faithful to humans that they've been used to study human evolutionary history by proxy. Their existence on our skin is short-lived, as their lifespan is only around 20 days. They don't even poop in that time. They'll meet the opposite sex at the entrance of a pore, mate, and lay up to 24 eggs to continue the next generation. So whilst many of our pores might seem like nothing to us, we are the face of our commensal mite's entire world.
I want to advise you after this, don't go bath and do all this. It won't help, okay? But imagine, I just wanted to show you this. It's not damaging, it doesn't do anything according to science, but I just wanted to show you this. Imagine we live with it. It's on our faces. 2.5 million. Whatever soap you're using, relax. It won't do nothing. Now hear this. Imagine, before I told you this, you didn't know it. Now imagine if the devil is using, I'm not saying this type, the parasitical side of it to actually harm you so you don't live out your purpose. Imagine if your mood swings are caused by this, that even your own church members know it. That pastor is very good, but he's very moody. We were smiling and then he just got angry for no reason. And the man doesn't know it. The woman doesn't know it. Because there is a shift. And now you're no longer winning souls the way you were supposed to. You're no longer shepherding your people the way you're supposed to. Why? Because there's a problem. Your mood swings are not caused by lack of practice in Christianity. But again, be Toxoplasma gondii. Put another one of Toxoplasma.
Toxoplasma gondii is one of the world's most common protozoan parasites. It affects 30 to 50% of the human world population. It can affect humans by altering our personality, thoughts, behavior, and is linked to some mental illnesses. People who are affected by this parasite are 2.5 times more likely to get into a road traffic accident due to the parasite slowing down the person's reaction time. The parasite has also been linked to neurotic behavior. People who suffer from depression are more likely to commit suicide when exposed to toxoplasmosis. Research has also suggested that the parasite is linked with increasing the risk of schizophrenia. The geographical distribution of Toxoplasma has researchers suggesting that the parasite-altering behavior has given rise to cultural differences between different regions of the world. Toxoplasma also targets people with compromised immune systems, in particular pregnant women who are more susceptible to the parasite. The parasite can affect the fetus, and there is a small risk that the infection could cause miscarriage or even birth defects. So, how does this parasite enter us humans? While our furry four-legged friends give this parasite optimum conditions to enter and sexually reproduce in their gut, inside the cat's gut the parasite can combine with other Toxoplasma genes and sexually reproduce, creating eggs called oocysts. When a cat is infected, it removes these eggs from the body through its feces. The eggs can survive outside a host for an entire year. They can live on grass, contaminate water systems, and can even survive on vegetables in gardens. This cunning parasite has conjured up an evolutionary mechanism to re-enter the cat gut in which it can reproduce. The contaminated sites such as the grass and water supplies are stumbled upon by rodents. When they ingest the contaminated water, the parasite enters the rodent's body and makes its way to the brain. The parasite then rewires the pathways in the brain, in particular the amygdala, which controls emotions such as fear. The parasite uses this. Instead of the rodent's basic instincts of avoiding a cat, the parasite rewires the brain, making the cat sexually attracted to cat urine, which then ultimately leads to the rodent being ate, and so the Toxoplasma can re-enter the cat host and complete its life cycle. Through the contamination of water supplies, it is only inevitable that parasites enter another host, which is us humans. Unfortunately, our brain chemistry is similar to that of a rodent, and so these parasites have the ability to work on the human mind. Research on schizophrenia in the mid to late 19th century shows a correlation between the increase in schizophrenia and cat ownership. The extent to which these parasites control our mind is not known. There is certainly potential for more research on the effects of Toxoplasma gondii and human behavior.
Did you notice? I'm sorry. Cat owners, raise your hand, cat owners. There might be chances that you're actually schizophrenic. But I don't know if you're getting this. Did you notice what it does to rats? You see, rotting bee mind alters the brain. And then they're eaten by cats. Because what they are offering is different from... Instead of really thinking of running, they might just stand there like this, looking at a cat. And then it gets into you. What do you think? Alters again the brain. Maybe that's why you love cats. I did not say... I'm using the word maybe here. Are you getting this? But do these people actually hear what this is? And yet the Bible says famines and they're okay. earthquakes and they are okay. Then it says parasites. And they're like, yeah, we know it. It's diseases everywhere. Yeah, let's go home. We now know the end times. You don't, because the working of the devil is to take advantage of our ignorance. We are not ignorant of his devices, his noema, his way of thinking, his sunesis, his quickness of apprehension. He knows you are like this, he goes like that. Imagine a parasite causing a rat to love a cat. One of these rats, every time you wonder what's happening, the cat is there, the rat is there, the ango goes to find food and is eaten by the cat. And then the father says, Ango went somewhere. And the father goes and he gets eaten. And the first son of the rat says, I'm going there. Let's look for food. I don't know where Papa went and Ango went. And the young brother goes like, I'm going there. I don't know where Ango went, Papa went, grandfather. I don't know, but we are going to get food. The mother goes like, little babies, wait here. I'm following Papa, who went 2 days ago. Where? Have you ever wondered you can finish the whole pond of fish with just one worm going in there, catching one fish? No fish goes like, wait a minute. That thing there is taking our relatives. Now just imagine. Look at what it says. It poops. And if you notice what he said, it poops and it goes into areas that it knows the cat will come and drink the water or do something to, so that it goes back into the house and keep my babies. So it is well aware the best host is the cat. So you do whatever near the cat, water, whatever, so that this one will drink the water and then it can grow inside. I don't care you like that cat of yours. You can call it whatever you want to call it, Biden or whatever, or Kamala, you can call it anything. No, I mean like, you understand what I mean? Yeah. You can call it whatever. He's still not the president of America. It is a career for diseases that will kill you, slow you, make you moody, lose your marriage. And if you notice what that clip said, even pregnancies, losing your child. You will miscarry based on a cat that you love. I know from, I think it's a British guy who kissed his dog from hospital. Now he doesn't have a nose. They removed all the legs and the hands from one bacteria from a dog. Yes, Spotty. Tiger. Kiss. There's another one that eats the brain. Show it.
When people talk about the brain-eating amoeba, what they really mean is Naegleria fowleri. This amoeba lives in fresh waters like ponds and lakes all over the world, and it loves the heat. It loves warm water. The amoeba live in the sediment on the bottom of lakes and ponds. When people stir it up, the amoeba get into the water. What happens is someone goes underwater and this amoeba enters their nose and gets to their brain. It starts out with just headache and fever, nausea and vomiting, but it progresses very quickly to convulsions and hallucinations. This amoeba kills and kills very efficiently. 97% of people who are infected die. On average, they're dead within 5 days. virus. So especially in late summer, you'll sometimes hear about these infections. In the United States, typically, it's in the southern states. But the chances are incredibly low. From 2005 to 2014, there were 35 reported infections in the United States. When you figure that millions and millions of people swim in warm water, 35 infections is actually a very low risk. It's highly, highly unlikely that you're going to contract a brain-eating amoeba while swimming in fresh water. However, it is possible. So if you want to reduce your risk, just don't go swimming in warm, fresh water. Or if you do, you can hold your nose when you go underwater or use nose clips and try not to stir up the sediment on the bottom. That's where the amoeba live.
I'm not here to scare you. I'm not trying to say everything. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do this. I'm trying to show you that these things have now increased. And they are everywhere around us. And there is a definite way of getting rid of them. Notice, if you know this one comes from cats, I don't need to tell you what to do to your cat. I can't help you with this information. I love you, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know what I would do to that cat. And since I love people so much, I would not throw it away. Because somebody might catch that and make it their cat. And then the virus and the bacteria and the... It's still going around. You see? We don't waste the message and we don't spread parasites. Hear this. These are 4 deadly parasites, so that you know. Just a quick one.
This one's for you. These parasites will literally kill you from the inside out. Number 1, Toxoplasma gondii. The CDC says about 60 million people in the U.S. are infected with this parasite, and most don't even know it. In healthy people, flu symptoms last for a month and then disappear. But in people with compromised immune systems or pregnant women, the parasite will eat their organs and even their baby's organs. This results in necrotic lesions or dead areas inside you, making you a zombie from the inside out. Number 2, Naegleria fowleri. This malevolent amoeba has been found even in 2014 in Louisiana's water supply. It enters through the nose and heads for your cranial cavity where it sets up shop. You might get a headache because your brain is being eaten. The parasite has a 99% fatality rate. Number 3, the Loa Loa eyeworm. It doesn't need much explaining. It's a worm in your eye. It swims around in there and you can feel it and see it from the surface. About 12 million people are currently infected, usually from a simple fly bite in Africa, and the worms can live inside your body for more than 15 years before appearing in your eye. Number 4, the pork tapeworm, also known as Taenia selman. Here's a breakdown of how it works. The eggs of this parasite are ingested by a pig. Then the larvae hatch in the pig's stomach, get into the bloodstream, and finally arrive in the muscles. Those muscles are eaten by a human, like in an undercooked pork taco. Once eaten, the tapeworm infects the human's intestines, and microscopic eggs are pooped out. If the hands aren't washed properly, then other surfaces and food may become contaminated with microscopic eggs, and then someone else will get infected. Once inside the body, the tapeworm goes to the brain to form cysts that lead to seizures, headaches, and death.
Don't be scared. But do you understand? It is the thing that as theologians, Christians had forgotten to warn the world that this was prophesied by Jesus. It will be coming. The end is near. Now you might say, but Prophet, how do I know that I have a parasite? I give you, number 1, a prophet can tell you. Number 2, watch this.
Don't ignore these early symptoms of parasites in your body. Parasites are organisms that live off other organisms called hosts. They feed off the hosts by stealing the nutrients from their food. There are 3 main types of parasites. Protozoa, which are single-cell organisms that live in the intestines, blood, or tissue. Helminths, which include worms such as tapeworms, roundworms, and thorny-headed worms. And ectoparasites, which are ticks, fleas, lice, and mites. that attach to or burrow into the skin. Parasitic infections can result in anything from an uncomfortable annoyance such as head lice to much more complicated diseases and even death if undiagnosed and untreated. So here are 10 early symptoms to watch out for. Number 1. Stomach pain. One of the first signs that you may have a parasite is stomach pain, especially if that pesky critter is feasting in your intestines. Some parasites live in food like meat, and they enter the body through the stomach when you consume food that is not properly prepared. Parasites can also spread through the air, from person to person, or through contaminated water. Once inside the body, the parasites will reproduce, resulting in increased stomach pain. Number 2. Digestive issues. Parasites release byproducts that can build up in your gastrointestinal tract. This can result in abdominal inflammation, gas, and indigestion. Some of these parasites actually block food from passing, which can have its own set of symptoms, such as sharp pain, abdominal swelling, vomiting, and constipation. Number 3. Anal itching. A common symptom associated with parasites is an itchy anus, which is uncomfortable and doesn't usually resolve unless treated. This symptom can be embarrassing, and it can also disturb sleep. And that's because parasites are most active and lay their eggs at night, so the itching is usually the worst at that time. Scratching the itch can damage the skin, further increasing the chance of infection. Number 4. Fatigue. Constantly feeling tired could also be a symptom of a parasitic infection. Parasites devour nutrients and minerals that the body requires to survive. Furthermore, some parasites might impair the body's capacity to absorb nutrients, thus impacting overall health. Even with proper nutrition and adequate sleep, parasites can make you feel weak and tired. Number 5. Weight loss. Quick, unexplainable weight loss can be another symptom of a parasite. Not only are the parasites stealing your nutrients, but your body has to use extra calories to fight the parasitic infection. All of these things can result in weight loss. If accompanied by a change in appetite or other symptoms, weight loss could be an indication of parasites. Number 6. Anxiety. Parasites can cause mental harm as well. They can negatively impact stability and happiness, which causes mood swings, irritability, and anxiety. Knowing you have a parasitic infection can make anxiety even worse, so it can be a vicious cycle. Number 7. Teeth grinding. Most people who grind their teeth at night are not even aware of it. Teeth grinding can have a lot of different causes, and that alone doesn't necessarily mean you have a parasite. In a case that you do, you're tossing and turning all night due to the parasite's increased activity, and the restlessness can lead to physical stress, which can result in teeth grinding. Left untreated, this could result in damage to your pearly whites.
I don't know if you are getting this. Are you there? I think you found your own parasite there. But imagine things that look simple like this are already in the word. That when the end of days is coming, you're going to see wars. That's okay. Earthquakes, that's all right. Famines, that's all right. Parasites, nope. We don't know nothing about them and we don't care. We are waiting for the rapture. That's what we do. We are waiting for the rapture. Your rapture may happen tonight as a result of a parasite. I received a message from Prophetess right now, and she said one of our leaders somewhere, head of what we were talking about, and she went and got those, whatever the cause that needs, and parasites came out of her eyes and hands. Do people understand these things can be meters long? Several meters long in you. Eating with you. Some people you call gluttonous, or rather greedy. They are not greedy. They are eating for four. I don't know if I get it.
They're getting us in. They're getting us in.
And you are wondering, what is this? Okay, the truth about parasites. Put it to
They
them,
take
Apostle.
pictures of the parasites they get out of you on these different deworming programs. Woman got 18-inch long critters out of her that were so thick she couldn't get them into a top of a juice bottle. They're usually translucent, they're usually white, and there's some of them that look like tarantula spiders, some of them look like grasshoppers, some of them look like little tiny miniature sailboats, some of them look like little spacecraft.
This is truly going to blow your mind. It'll change the way that you view health altogether. This guy looked through these books from the 1800s and he noticed they all had parasite cleansers.
And what did they know back then? What were they doing? Guessing? I started finding books that were published by doctors through the 1800s, books that they read and books that they learned from. And lo and behold, out of every single book were deworming programs, parasite programs. For doctors in those days did autopsies and they found parasites. And I looked at that and I got a hold of doctors and they said, no, we don't have parasites today. So we started to search for parasite programs just to see what was going on, to see if maybe something was happening that we really didn't understand. So I did myself first. And lo and behold, I got 8 and 10-inch critters out of me. They were white. First of all, they were in a toilet water and they were all bunched up. I thought it was mucus. Until, just for a curiosity, I threw some hot water in the toilet to warm it up and then went and gosh, they strung out, they were swimming all over. We're now doing pictures in color out of clinics where you go potty on a special pot with a screen in it and they take pictures of the parasites they get out of you on these different deworming programs. Yeah, this is really strange stuff. I have never yet dewormed anyone where they didn't tell me, hey, I feel 25% better. If you got halitosis, you're loaded, because that's worm urine and worm droppings that you're breathing out. So it's no wonder you breath's bad. When they pee, that's called ammonia. So just go to a doctor, have a blood test, and see what level of ammonia is in your blood. If you have ammonia in your blood, that's called worm urine. You get a headache. You got the headache because the worms are all peeing, trying to get you to eat something else. They're trying to make you sick so you'll get off of what you're doing and start eating. So you take some arginine and orthodine, and in about 20 minutes, if the headache's gone, you've neutralized the worm urine and you know that you're loaded. All children that have little tiny pimples on the backs of their arms or little tiny pimples here on the edges of their cheeks have 5 varieties of critters in them. 5 varieties. It's time to deworm, and it's time to get them out.
Are you getting this? Did you notice something? It's telling you that the headache sometimes you feel, I have a headache, I need Healing Institute. No. There is pee in your head. The parasites are peeing. And why is this? What is this saying? They're doing it because they want you to eat, so they can also eat. So they are well aware they are in a host. So they do something to trigger you to go and eat. So they are also feeding.
Wow.
I don't know if you're getting this.
Yeah, getting it said.
Let's deal with tapeworm because a lot of people know tapeworm. Let's deal with tapeworm, then we're about to complete to finish this, to close this session, brother.
Tapeworm infection, also known as Teniasis or Cestodiasis, is caused by parasitic flatworms belonging to the class Cestoda. These parasites typically reside in the digestive tract of humans and animals, where they can grow to significant lengths, sometimes several meters. Common symptoms of tapeworm infection include abdominal discomfort. This can include pain, bloating, or discomfort in the abdominal region. Some individuals may experience nausea and vomiting, especially if the infection is severe. Tapeworms can absorb nutrients from the intestine, leading to weight loss even when food intake remains normal. Nutrient deficiencies caused by the tapeworm can lead to weakness and fatigue. Changes in bowel habits like diarrhea or constipation can occur due to tapeworm infection. Some people may experience an increased appetite despite weight loss, as the tapeworm absorbs nutrients from the host's digestive system. In some cases, tapeworm segments may be visible in the stool. These segments may resemble grains of rice or cucumber seeds. Anal itching or irritation around the anus may occur due to the presence of tapeworm segments or eggs. Tapeworm infections are caused by ingesting the eggs or larvae of tapeworms. This can occur through eating or drinking contaminated food or water with tapeworm eggs or larvae. Consuming undercooked or raw pork, beef, or fish, which may contain tapeworm larvae. Lack of proper hand washing after using the toilet or handling contaminated materials, leading to inadvertent ingestion of tapeworm eggs. Direct contact with surfaces or objects contaminated with tapeworm eggs, such as soil or food. Eating raw or unwashed fruits and vegetables grown in soil contaminated with tapeworm eggs. Zoonotic transmission, where tapeworms are transmitted from animals to humans, such as through contact with infected dogs or livestock. The life cycle begins when a host ingests tapeworm eggs or larvae, often through contaminated food or water. Once ingested, the larvae hatch and penetrate the intestinal wall, entering the bloodstream. Larvae can then migrate to various organs, forming cysts and causing tissue damage. In the definitive host, usually a human, larvae develop into adult tapeworms in the small intestine, where they attach themselves to the intestinal wall using hooks or suckers. Adult tapeworms produce eggs, which are shed in feces, completing the life cycle. Diagnosis of tapeworm infection is based on stool examination. Microscopic examination of stool samples can reveal tapeworm eggs or segments. Imaging tests, such as X-rays or ultrasound, may be used to detect the presence of tapeworms in the intestines. In some cases, blood tests can detect antibodies to tapeworms.
I don't know if you're here or you're not.
We are here, Prophet.
Now, the end time is near, right? And I don't think, with the prophecies in the Bible, all of them have been fulfilled. You know this as much as I know, right? And so this time around, what is left? What is left is, I mean, to me, I believe it's some grace period. You understand what I mean? Because whatever the Bible have spoken about, we have seen them all, right? People now they try to inject things in our bodies to control us and all of those things. It is happening everywhere. So you don't need, anybody to tell you this anymore, because the prophets have also created awareness of this over and over again. So you understand what I mean to say? Now, this is a blueprint of how these people do their things, how the earth is being controlled, how humanity is being controlled. A lot of things, all of these videos that Prophet Ibrahim just showed are things that came, things that happened in the past, tapeworm and all of those things, right? All of these things. When COVID-19 was coming, they said, okay, don't eat game, I mean bushmeat, right? Don't do this and do that. It comes through this, it comes through that. It's the same old pattern over and over again. It's an old approach over and over again. So, for instance, if you have an information with the old approach, the update of their approach or what they will be doing next wouldn't be far-fetched. You understand what I mean to say? So, it is what it is. Now you have the information. Prophet Benja has given you all of the gist, and I think you'll be on your toes as a Christian and you'll make someone see this video by sharing. My name is Shoda Nixon. I love to break down gospel messages like this. Make sure to subscribe, share, like this video. Subscribe to the backup channel in the description box. Thank you, honestly, for watching this one. I'm out.